Hello everybody, Skin Deep Beauty Vlogger here. I hope you're all really well. Today I have got a celebrity inspired tutorial for you. That is Kristen Stewart's makeup at this year's Met Gala, the 2013 Gala, which had a punk theme. Now it may not be the most spring-summer-like tutorial, but I really liked the theme. As you guys know, I love a smoky eye when I go out. This really appealed to me, and I've been wanting to do a sort of look using these sorts of colours for quite some time. It will look particularly good if you have green eyes like Kristen does. Unfortunately I don't, but you know, these sort of burgundy shades really are complementary colours. She wore this with a burgundy jumpsuit, and normally I wouldn't say that sort of it's a good idea to match your eye makeup to the outfit that you're wearing, but I thought it looked fantastic. I think just with the sort of very clear pale skin, it looked great. If you're not too sure what I'm talking about, what makeup Kristen was wearing, then I've posted a photo on my Instagram. Details are in the bar below, so do follow me on there, and I will maybe post some more photos of future tutorials on there. I'm always posting nail shots and other beauty products that I'm trying out and things like that, so follow me on Instagram. I'm not a makeup artist, but I always said that if I was going to do a celebrity tutorial, that Kristen Stewart would be one of the first ones that I did, because I love how she does her makeup. It's always sort of very pale skin and smoky eye, which is the look that I go for, and I'm a pale girl as well. If this look isn't for you, then the long-awaited, much-promised neutral eye tutorial is coming, so please do stay tuned for that. Stay tuned if you would like to see how to recreate this look. I really hope that you enjoy it, and do let me know what you think of me doing a celebrity-inspired tutorial in the comments below. So in the interest of saving time, I've already done this side of my face, and my mirror's on this side anyway, so hopefully it makes sense for me to be doing this side in the tutorial. A few of you mentioned that you didn't mind that sort of one eye being done when I did my St. Patrick's Day tutorial, so I figured I would do that today. I've done quite a lot of research into this look, and Kristen's makeup artist mainly used Chanel products. I'm going to link all of those in the bar below, the ones that I was able to find out about. In the interest of being budget friendly, not all of this look is going to be using Chanel products. They're certainly not going to be using the same ones. However, I have used a couple of the same products, and I'm just going to be mixing it up a bit. I've also researched some of the products that she just likes generally, not just for this look, and I'm going to be incorporating some of those brands as well. I've started off by applying my foundation. Now I generally use my Holy Grail Makeup Forever HD foundation, but today I've used a sample of the Chanel Perfection Lumiere foundation. I went to the counter recently and had this anyway, so I was really pleased to be able to put it to use. This is the foundation that Kristen's makeup artist used. I'm in the shade Beige Rose 12, which isn't the same shade as Kristen. I don't live in California, so I'm probably quite a bit paler than she is. A bit more of the vampire look going on over here. They just gave me this little sample and colour matched me. To be honest, I'm not sure on first impressions that I would repurchase this. I quite liked that it was a buildable coverage, and you were able to give a pretty good coverage with it. However, the reason that I probably wouldn't repurchase it is that I've got a couple of dry areas on my face, you know, where some blemishes are healing, and it really was clinging to those areas, and I had to work quite hard to stop it clinging to any dry patches. So if you've got dry skin, this may not be the best foundation for you. I've applied my concealer, and I've also applied quite a bit of YSL Touche Eclat under my eyes. Kristen does like the brand YSL, and she definitely had quite a lot of under eye concealer going on. It was a very bright look under her eyes. Now Kristen's brows looked really well groomed but natural, so I'm not going to do too much to them. I'm just going to put a little bit of MAC lingering through where needed. But I really don't want this to be sort of a bold brow look. And just make sure they look groomed with a spoolie brush. I found it really interesting that Kristen's makeup artist didn't use a bronze contour colour, but instead used a plum blusher to contour, which I think is a really good idea if you've got pale skin. I've already done my contour on this side, so you can see how it looks. I just used the Dallas by Benefit Boxed Blush, and I really do quite like this as a pale girl contour. It's a good option if you find that bronzers do look a little orangey on you. This is what it looks like. I've got one of the old school ones where the lid comes off completely. And I'm just going to use an angled brush. This is so pigmented, a little goes a long way, so I'm going to make sure I tap off the excess. And just contour into where you normally would in the hollows of your cheeks. I'm going to take a little bit of that up onto the temple as well, because it does look like Kristen had that in the photo. I do really like this, I'd recommend it. I'm going to use a cream highlight because that's what Kristen's makeup artist did, and I tend to prefer cream highlight formulas anyway. Her skin did look very glowing and dewy, and it's not so obvious in the photo that I posted on Instagram, but when I was searching online there were a couple of shots where she's looking to the side and you can just see a pop of highlight on her cheeks. Obviously the flash bulbs had just caught there and it looked fantastic. I'm going to use an Urban Decay cream highlighter, and this is in the shade Wicked, which I thought would be appropriate seeing as she's in vampire films. And I'm just going to apply this with my fingertips. I've already put a little strip of this down the centre of my nose as well. And I'm just applying this to the tops of my cheekbones. Now I hope you can see that I only used natural light to film with, and it's quite bright today, for once. This is a good choice if you find that some cream highlighters are a bit too rich and creamy for you. This is very lightweight on the skin. Okay, so now I've got the structure of my face in place. I've got my highlight and contour and my brows. So I'm going to go into the main look now, which is the eye colour. I've already prepped my lids, as I always do, with my Urban Decay eyeshadow primer potion. This is fantastic because not only does it help to prolong the colour and stop any creasing, but it also really helps the colour to pop as well and gives some great intensity of colour. So definitely recommend picking this up if you haven't already got it. It's such a cult product, most people have tried it. If you haven't, you've tried an alternative. Now Kristen's makeup artist actually used a lip pencil as a cream shadow for the base, but I'm going to use the Maybelline Colour Tattoo in the appropriately named Pomegranate Punk, because the theme was punk. This is what it looks like. Unfortunately this isn't available in the UK, it's a US shade, but if you're in the US then this is fantastic for this kind of look. And I'm going to just use my finger to apply this all over the lid. Sort of pressing it on. And I'm always using my ring finger to apply products to my eye because it is the most gentle on the delicate eye area. I love this colour. You could almost just use it on its own to create a similar look in a hurry. I'm just going to take that ever so slightly underneath. I'm being very lazy by not grabbing a brush to do this with. But to be honest, we don't want it to be too perfect anyway, it's a punk theme. Okay, so that's that. Next I'm going to apply black eyeliner all around the entire waterline, including into the tear duct. And the reason I'm doing that now is for a couple of reasons. One, to just give me a bit more of an idea of the shape. Kristen's obviously got this sort of lovely almond eye, and also because I want it to look a little bit lived in and really sort of settle into my eyes a bit more before the look is finished. I'm using the NARS Larger Than Life Long-wear Eyeliner in the shade Via Veneto, which is their black. I really love this product, and Kristen's also a fan of NARS Cosmetics, and who knows, maybe this was the eyeliner that was used. When I was researching all the different products that were used in the look, the eyeliner wasn't mentioned, but she's definitely wearing a ton of black eyeliner all around the inner rim. I'm actually going to zoom in a bit so that you can really see what I'm doing. Quick tip, when you're doing your tight line along the sort of upper waterline, when you're applying it here, if you just sort of look in this direction, or if you're applying it here, then look in this direction, so basically look away from the pen coming at you, and it makes it a lot easier to do. If you want a drugstore alternative, then check out the Rimmel Scandalise eyeliners. They're not as long wearing, but they're pretty good for the price. Okay, so now to apply some eyeshadow colour to the lids. The key product in this is MAC Cranberry. I love this shade, and I've been wanting to do a tutorial with it for ages, so this is sort of part of the reason that I wanted to do this look. The e.l.f. Luxe Quad does have a shade that's pretty similar to this if you wanted to recreate this look on a budget. I'm also going to be using a little bit of the Chanel Pink Explosion blush. I'm going to be using this as an eyeshadow because that's what Kristen's makeup artist did. I love this blush, it's got a wonderful rose scent. And then using the Wet n Wild Walking on Eggshells palette trio, I'm going to be using the crease colour because I think there was a little bit of brown. If you look at the photo in the outer corner, her makeup artist didn't mention this. In fact, they said there was a bit of grey, but I'm recreating the photo, so I think in the photo it looks a little bit brown. And lastly, I'm going to go in with a little bit of gold, and I'm going to use the Undiscovered shade from the Lorac Unzipped palette. So I'm going to start off with MAC Cranberry, and I'm just going to use a sort of flat eyeshadow brush. Really help to press the colour on. And take this all over the lid on top of that Pomegranate Punk cream shadow. I'm also going to take it quite high above the crease, not too high because there was quite a gap between the shadow and Kristen's brows in the photo, but you definitely want to have that look sort of quite smoked out. And as I'm working with this, I'm going to start to create that sort of slightly winged out look. To create that, what I'm going to do is almost take from the bottom lash line up into this sort of shape, like a line with the end of my brow, and that's where this sort of winged out look is going to fall. And I'm just sort of lightly creating that. I'm not sure how well you can see, I'm going to zoom in slightly. This is the kind of look that takes quite a while looking a bit rubbish, and then it all comes together at the end. Quite often I watch tutorials and I'm like, where are they going with this look? And then by the end of it, I remember why I watched it. Hopefully that'll be the case with this anyway. So I've really packed on quite a bit of this MAC Cranberry. Using the same brush, I'm going to go in with that crease colour and just put this on the outside edge. This is so pigmented, it's incredible. Especially when you're using it at the same time as a MAC shadow, you really do start to realise just how good quality these Wet n Wild shadows are. You'll notice I'm getting quite a bit of fallout, but don't worry, we're going to sort that out at the end. I love the dimension that this brown colour adds as well. Taking a fluffy blending brush, I'm going to use a windscreen wiper motion to blend that all together. Just soften the edges as well. Just take a little bit of Pink Explosion and lighten things up a bit around the edges. This has got such a strong rose scent that I would be careful of using it if you have very sensitive skin. You could very easily skip that step, but I wanted to include a product that Kristen's makeup artist had used, and it just adds a little bit of extra dimension, but it's very subtle. I'm going to go in now with the Real Techniques accent brush. I'm going to use the shade from the Lorac palette. That's this Undiscovered shade. It's a really pretty yellow pale gold. I'm just going to take this under the lash line, but where I'd normally start in this corner, I'm actually going to start on the inner corner a bit more, because that's what it looks like Kristen's makeup artist had done in the photo. And I'm going to also take a little bit of Cranberry under the eye, because just looking at the photo it does look like she had quite a bit under the eye. Going back in with that Undiscovered shade, I'm just going to take a little bit on my finger and apply this just in the centre of the lid, just to give a little bit of extra dimension. Now, Kristen didn't really look like she had this, but I kind of just felt like it would make it a little bit more wearable. So I'm just going to blend that in as well. Just be careful not to blend it away, but just blend the edges in. Now's the time to clean up any fallout that you've got using your foundation. Lastly, I'm going to curl my lashes using the Lumiere eyelash curler, which Kristen's makeup artist uses on her all the time. Such a cult tool. Kristen didn't have very much on her lashes. She certainly wasn't wearing any falsies. They just looked curled and naturally defined. So I'm going to use the NYX Faux Lashes Mascara, which I don't think is a faux lash effect mascara as such, even though it claims to be. I think it's much better for giving a sort of lengthening and defined look. So that's perfect for what I'm looking for. I've done a full review and a demonstration on this mascara, so I'll link that in the bar below if you would like to watch that video. It's got a really skinny brush that makes it ideal for getting sort of right to the base of the lashes, and I'm also going to be using this on my bottom lashes as well as Kristen's makeup artist did on her. To finish up, Kristen was wearing very little on her lips. It just looked like a natural colour and maybe a little bit of gloss. I'm going to use the Revlon lip butter in Crème Brulee, which I don't really like this shade that much as I love the lip butters, but I figured this would be a good time to use it. I thought it would work well for this look. And a neutral lip really does lend itself well to this dramatic eye. And that's the finished look. I really hope you like it. Do let me know in the comments below what you think of the look and if you'd like to see any other celebrity inspired tutorials. As I always say, I'm not a makeup artist, but I will certainly try and recreate some looks if you would like. I'll zoom in at the end so you can see some close-ups of this look. Do subscribe if you haven't already, there's a button just below, and give this a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and I will see you all soon. Thank you so much for watching. Bye!